Hey guys, welcome back to the Future News Network. Today we're talking all about them pesky boomers. We're also going to talk about marijuana screenings for work. We're also going to talk about rats. We're also going to talk about obesity and a couple other things. So stick around if you want to see these stories and more. Please hit me with a like and subscribe to not miss them. The news media does not want to cover a lot of these stories, but I do. So I'll do it for you. So hit me with a like and subscribe. We're going to hop right in. Story coming out of Newsweek reads, Millennials say they won't care for their aging boomer parents, vowing to put them in old folks' homes. A growing number of millennials say they do not plan to become the primary caregivers of their aging baby boomer parents, with many saying they would instead place them in an assisted living or a nursing home. Many responded citing financial stress, burnout, housing costs, and difficult family relationships as major reasons behind their decisions. The findings highlight a growing shift in attitudes towards elder care as Americans live longer and caregiving becomes more expensive. Experts say this trend could place additional pressure on long-term care facilities across the U.S. Do you want to take care of your boomer parents? They don't get it. They don't get it, you know? But you have another story coming out simultaneously that says nearly half of American adults under 30 are living with those parents, per Wall Street Journal. So, if they're going to house you and they're going to take care of you, and they're probably, maybe they'll charge you a little bit of rent and they're doing everything like that. Once they get too old, what are you going to do? You going to take care of them or not? Who are you going to be? You going to be the guy who just lets his boomer parents down? That's not who you want to be. You know, or your boomer parents completely in the dark about the current situation that's going on in the world? Probably. Most of them are. Most of them are living on the perfect American dream worked for them. Not really working for these new people coming out. Your Gen Z. Even your millennials are having tough times compared to that generation, the baby boomer generation. They had it made in the sun. And they will say that they worked very hard, and I'm sure they did. But they were rewarded more. They were rewarded more for that work. In my opinion, maybe you're a boomer, maybe you're watching this, maybe you think I'm full of shit. Let me know down in the comments. Coming out of Boardroom, nearly half of U.S. employers are removing marijuana tests from their hiring process. It reads, workplace drug policies are shifting as cannabis becomes legal across much of the country. Companies are competing for qualified candidates. A 2024 study says that nearly 1,000 employees found that 48% no longer screen for marijuana in at least some roles. Among those testing, nearly a quarter are considering policy changes, while 44% of them say that the requirement is hurting their recruitment efforts. Amazon, Citigroup, Home Depot, and AutoNation have already eliminated cannabis screenings for many non-safety sensitive positions, even as positivity ratings continue to rise. Advocates argue that the traditional tests detect past use rather than on-the-job impairment, making them a poor measure of workplace performance. What do you guys think? Do you think we should be drug testing people for jobs? I mean, if you want to have somebody who never smokes, that's a guaranteed way, you know? I mean, you could test people on the job if you think they're smoking pot on the job, you know, like at that moment. If it's legal in the state, should you be able to tell, you know, maybe certain people we don't want smoking pot? You know, like your state official or, I don't know, your surgeon or, you know, very important jobs like that. Maybe, maybe not. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. Are you a bunch of stoners? Coming out of AF Post News, it reads, U.S. obesity rates ticks down to 36.4%. Diabetes rate remained unchanged since 2023. It looks like we're getting less fat as a country. The Ozempic is working. People are losing the weight. You can tell by this graph here. It was going up, and now we're seeing trends of it going down. The fatties are getting thin. This is great news. Absolutely excellent news. You guys let me know what you think about the country getting less fat down in the comments. In another story coming out of Ground News, Russia's FSB charges Telegram founder Durov with facilitating terrorism. The article reads, Russia's Federal Security Service said Wednesday it charged Telegram founder Pavel Durov with facilitating terrorism and issued an international warrant for his arrest. The FSB said Telegram failed to remove material used by Ukrainian special services and by terrorist and extremist organizations prepared and to coordinate attacks, acts of sabotage and terrorism, mass killings, and cyber fraud operations within the Russian Federation. Founded in 2013, the encrypted messaging app says it has more than 1 billion users and is used by both sides, both Russia and Ukraine. And if they are doing all this terrible stuff, both sides are doing this terrible stuff. What do you guys think of that development? Do you think that this man should get in trouble for creating a platform that just lets people speak and talk to one another? You're not responsible for what happens on the platform that you create. Are you? Maybe you disagree. Let me know down in the comments. In other news coming out of the New York Post, rat sightings are on the way down. We're not seeing rats as much as we were during the COVID pandemic. The chart reads, we'll take a look right here. It reads in 2020 to 2026, up in 2022 and then down from there. So during 2020 to 2022, we had the most rat sightings in New York City at any given time. So, do you like rats? Do you want to see more of them in the New York City streets, or do you want to see less of them? Are they cute? Do they carry disease? But are they cute? They do carry disease. You don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want to get a disease. I used to live in New York. I left New York because of rats. With their diseases. Killed like half the world. Black Plague. They call that rats. Rats are bad. It's a good thing that we are not seeing more rats around the nation. You let me know what you think. That's going to do it for today's show, guys. If you like those stories, you want to hear all different types of stories, I got tons of different stories. Nobody's covering these stories. If you want to see these stories, hit me with a like and a subscribe, and I will see you in the next installment.